What's up YouTube? Hello and welcome back to Bite Size Security. My name is Jimmy and today I'm bringing you another hacking video. We are doing Auth0 by Proving Grounds, which is OffSec's hacking platform, and this is another Windows box, and the community thinks that this box is hard, whereas the platform thinks it's an intermediate box. There's usually somewhat of a disconnect between what the platform deems difficult and what the community deems difficult, usually one up for the community. So let's just try it out. Let's just get into it. We are doing Auth0. So as usual, I've got the VPN running, and let's just go into Proving boxes like so, and then create the folder for Auth0 like so. And as usual, here I've got my notes, and let's go into this, and I'll take the IP. And because it's a Windows box, I've got the enumeration already done, the recon, because it takes ages, so I just ran it already. And as you can see, I have it all here. I did the Rust scan as well. Let me just delete that because I'll just do it one more time for you guys. So I'll take the IP, I'll say scan like that, and I'll copy that into we are not in the right folder, external, and just there. Call it rust scan.txt like so. That is going to take a minute, so I'm just going to leave it there, and let's get into looking at our notes. So we've got 4 ports. Let's go into enumeration, external. We've got 4 ports. We don't need this one and we don't need that one. Do we need a port 80? It doesn't look like it. FTP. Oh, this does look like port 80, so let's name that 242. And then we've got RDP and an unknown port, so we can delete one more. Let's start with with FTP, sorry. Let's copy that here like this and name this FTP. Then let's go into the next one, HTTP. Let's take the nmap and paste it in there. Let's go into RDP and paste that there, 3389 like so. Then what we're also going to do really quickly is take the UDP scan, put it there, the quick scan, put it there, and the full scan, put it there. The Rust scan is going to take a minute because it's Windows and it really does take a long time. Then what is this port? ZFTP server. Okay, so I'm gonna do this, take this like that, and call it ZFTP admin like so. With that being done, we're already done with the recon, so let's start enumerating. Let's put this pane in as a main pane, and we'll start with FTP. So what I usually do when I have FTP is, first of all, let's go into loot and create a folder that we're going to call FTP. Let's go inside of that, and then let's connect to FTP. You will understand why I did that the way I did it. So we're going to say FTP like that and try anonymous login. Give a random password, and we can successfully do an anonymous login. So we're going to say anonymous login successful. Let's try to download everything, and then what we're going to do is, let me just quickly go into my notes, get that commands, FTP, this one. Let's disconnect, and I'm gonna do, wait, here I forgot something in my notes. like that. And let's take a screenshot. I'm gonna do this. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this command and we're gonna download everything that's in this FTP folder. Of course, this is not really, sorry, this is not really, it's noisy. Like if there was an EDR or some SOC watching our movements, this would of course sound all of the alarms, but it's a CTF and we do not care. And let's call this anonymous. Oh, sorry, 192, and let's just call this anonymous, like so. And then what we can do is just browse it. So we're going to collapse all of this, collapse all of that, and go into loot. And what do we have in here? So this is the listing for the entire content of this FTP drive. And let's just take that command that we used. Like so. And what do we have in here? So we've got a couple of folders, everything root, so we cannot really download anything. We just see a listing of it, which is if you went into, let me just do this. If we went into it, we would see everything, but we can't really interact with it all. So that is why we can, that is why we see it like that in Sublime Text. But yeah, let's get back into this. So we see an accounts folder, we see certificates, extensions, and a couple of executables. Let's go into the accounts, backup, listing. OffSec, anonymous, and admin. This is interesting. Let's do it like this. And like that. No, we don't need that. That's a bit too much. So let's go back here and say we have an interesting folder with various accounts. Could these be credentials? Let's just try. So if these are credentials, let's try and say touch users. Let's go back into enum. External, sorry, like that. Is our ROScan finished, by the way? Yes, it is. Let's just quickly go there and do that, and then we are done with the enumeration. Like that. We are in external, and we can touch users.txt. And inside of there, we're going to put these users that we just find. So that was anonymous, that was admin, and OffSec. Is that correct? And OffSec, yes. So we found 3 users, anonymous, OffSec, and admin. Let's try and brute force. shares for these users. Yes, so we're saving these users, and what we're going to do is perform a brute force attack. And the reason why we're doing that is because if you go on auto recon, well, the reason is because we should, but if you go on auto recon, you have the manual commands, and auto recon also tells you you should run Hydra on the FTP share. So we're going to do that. We're going to take this, change the IP because that's not a current IP, and we're going to use the users list that we just created. Okay, so with anonymous, of course, every password is correct. Let me just make this cleaner by removing anonymous out of this, like that. Like so. And we do find an admin. That is very interesting. Okay, so let's take some note of this. Like so. And let's take the screenshots like that. And what we can then do is open a second pane, go to FTP, auth-b FTP, and we can do the same thing we did before. So download, well, first try and log in, but then also download everything from that share. So because it's a CTF, let's just do downloading it right away. We'll see what's in there anyway. So we download everything. That will then save as 192. We'll move that and call it admin. Like so. And then let's inspect what's in here. Listing. We again download everything from that FTP share, and get the following contents. And how did we download everything? We took this command, I changed this to admin, and the password was admin. So what do we have? We have index.php with this nice Latin saying Nuce nucelium esse volt frangit nucem. Nuce and nucem means nut. That's the only thing I understand. Nucelium probably means like the core of the nut. Leum is, I think, the core. Like, I don't know how to explain it. My Latin is rusty, but yeah, whatever. It's Latin. Let's go into htaccess. Again, we've got this quote. I will try and find out what this quote means. Then we've got a basic authentication, and then we've got HT password. So it uses some type of authentication using HT passwords, and we can get, post, and put, and it requires a valid user. Is this the configuration for the web server we have? Maybe. And here's the password. Okay, quite interesting. Okay, so we get 3 files, 3 interesting files. .ht access .ht password and index.php. Let's do it like that. Like that, and I will then post a screenshot underneath. Like this. Obviously, we've got a hash here. What does finding a hash mean? It means cracking the hash. Oh, Nucilium. This might be a wordplay with cracking. That'd be nice. Should I use ChatGPT to translate this? Yes, I shall. Okay, so wait, let me see what I have open here. I don't want to show you. I'll just do it like this. Translate this. So the Latin phrase "Qui enuse nucilium esse volt frangit nucem" translate to "He who wants the kernel must crack the nut." That's a pretty nice saying. This proverb means that to get what you want, you must be willing to undertake the necessary effort or hardship. Wow. That is very, very, very true for hacking. I'm glad I translated this. Thank you, OffSec. Anyway, back to serious things. So we've got this authentication mechanism, we've got this hash, and we've got this amazing quote. He who wants the kernel must crack the nut. Yes. Let's take this hash and go into this, and let's take this and put it there, and then let's say anonymous and admin. No, anonymous we're not going to put there, but admin we are. Actually, if we say it like this, we can. FTP like this, and here we've got a hash. Now let's find out what kind of hash this is. So we're going to take it, go on Google and say, what kind of hash? This is an MD5 hash. Okay. Hashcat. Oh. Could it be this? 1600? Let's try. Okay, so let's say we are in loot and we're gonna call touch hash. We can clean this, and then inside of hash we can echo this hash into hash, and then we can do, well, let's first see if it's in there. Yes, it is. And then we can do hashcat m1600 with the hash, take user share word list rocku, and call the output cracked, like so. This is then running, and boom, it is cracked. Okay, so let's go back into FTP and say we can crack that hash using hashcat. We first need to find out what kind of hash it is, and Google tells us it is an MD5 hash, which can be cracked. Let's see, hashcat help grep MD5. There's quite a few. Apache IPRU one. Yeah, okay, so it's that one. Let's put this on main screen like this. And where is it? There. Like that. Using the module 1600. Like so. That's very small. So we're gonna do hashcat. The command we used is the following. And the results we get was like this and like that. And so, what is that cracked hash? Here, the password is elite. Let's go to loot, offsec, elite. And we don't know if this is for FTP. So let's try it. FTP, let's take our IP again. 21, say admin. No, sorry. Of course that didn't work. We say offsec and elite. Not accepted. Okay. And this is not all mmap. So this is enumerating FTP. And then within that we have hashcat. And then we can just say the cracked hash. No, we have cracked the hash and the password for the user. Offsec is elite. However, we cannot use it to log into the FTP server. Like so. So where can we use it? We are now kind of stuck on FTP. So let's continue with HTTP. Okay, so we're on HTTP, so we're gonna fire up burp as usual. And we're gonna open Mozilla. Let's do it like that. And burp is gonna load up full screen like this. Okay, and so we're gonna take our IP, HTTP / like this, and it's 242, yes. And we've got a user panel. Screenshot, and let's do the enumeration for HTTP. So we've got the screenshots, so let's go to our notes, close this, go to scans, 242, curl. Of course, it tells us authorization required because that's the authorization box we just saw. GoBuster, nothing. Of course, Nikto, probably a whole lot of nothing as well. Nmap we've already got, and WhatWeb. And Debuster we can just close, and let's go over to enumeration. So we get asked to log in. Actually, let's do we are stuck with FTP. Should I do it like this? Yes. So let's continue our enumeration with HTTP. And then here I'm going to do an external link. No, not an external link. I'm going to do an internal link. And I'm going to say, showcase authb, and then of course we're going to say enum external, and then 242 HTTP, like that, because then I can press here and we'll be in 242. And so here we get asked to log in. And submit a username and password. Let's try the credentials we have just discovered over FTP. And that was OffSec Elite. So let's try that. And there we have our index.php. So two things. This is, like I thought so before, the index.php that we found, where was it? Here. This index.php is the same as here. Okay. And what else did we find? We found this, and it gives us, okay, so let's explain this. This worked. And does this belong to exploit already? Yes, because I kind of know where we're going with this. Okay, so let's go into FTP. Just wanna copy this, makes it easier. And we're going to say exploits. We can now this and I'll explain how. We have permission to put stuff onto the website, right? Let's test this. So let's do FTP with the IP, and we're going to connect as admin, and down here we're going to create touch test.txt, right? And then here we're going to say put test.txt. All right. I kind of jumped the gun here because I saw where this was going, but let me explain it slowly and clearly. Like that. we find that we have permissions to upload files to the FTP server when connected as admin. Like this. Let's try. No, actually, this is annoying because then I'll have to do it all the time, and I don't want to do it. I want to do it only when it goes from enumeration to exploit to Privesc. So I'll leave this for now, and I'll remove this. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, so we can upload files. Let's now see if we can browse to these files, because I've just created test.txt, right? Say touch hello.txt and echo world into hello.txt, and then up here I will put hello.txt up there. And now let's go here and go on hello.txt, and indeed we have a world. Not only can we upload files to the FTP server, but we can also directly browse them on the web server. I can just copy this into here as well. And all of this idea came from this. This. We noticed that within the htaccess file, we have permissions to get, post, we can prove this by trying to upload files onto the FTP server, which we can, like that. Okay, we can now exploit this web server. Let's try and upload .php files. So what are we going to do? We're going to create touch test.txt, and inside of it we're going to say echo php echo hello world. No, please subscribe. That was retarded. like that into test. Oh, no. PHP. So we have test.php. Let's move test.php into exploits. And let's go to authb exploits, like that. And then here, that was stupid. Sometimes I'm trying to do too much, you know. authb exploits, but I'm just trying to be thorough. So now I'm gonna have to connect again. Oh god. Like that, and I'm gonna put test.php up there. And if that works, then I should be able to browse to it. And yes, that worked. Like this, and we can upload .php files. So let's upload a reverse shell. Let's upload a reverse shell. Let's go on the internet, the interwebs. Let's go on RevShell, take our IP, put it here, not use a stupid port, and go to Windows, PHP. This one works for me most of the time, so let's copy that, or just go here and copy. Yeah, that's all good. And then let's say touch rev.php. Let's go into my notes. I can collapse all of this, collapse all of that, and collapse this, collapse that, and go to exploit rev.php, paste that all here, and try to upload it. Put rev.php, and we should now let's bring this forward, call it shell, and listen on port 9001. Let's bring the browser to the side. Let's go like this, and then let's browse to rev.php, and that should give us a reverse shell. Bam. Success. Which shell did we use? Like this. Like that. We get a shell and can now start enumerating again. So let's do a link, and we're going to say showcase authb but not loot. We're going to say internal, so enum internal, like that. And then user, we're going to start enumerating. So who am I /all. And let's take a screenshot like this. And who are we? We are Livda Apache. So Livda is the name and Apache is the host name. Like that. Let's make this bigger again. Do not update. And what do we see? We have a couple of permissions. Impersonate privilege. So SE impersonate privilege is enabled. Potato. So this is a privilege escalation vector, but let's continue enumerating. So let's say libconfig, just because we should. And then let's also go to C users and go into Apache, I guess, and then desktop. And we have the local.txt. Like that, no. Like that, we have the local.txt. And what else? Let's do system info. And here too, we have Windows Server 2008. Okay. That's very bad. Okay, so we are dealing with a very old Windows Server 2008, for which there definitely is an online exploit available for that build. Let's go and try and find that. So we take the build and we go here and we say exploit, like that. We should find something. Let's do this one, that one. Okay, so we find the exploit. Let's try elevate our privileges using a kernel exploit. I'm gonna say showcase authb. What? authb privesk. Like so. Elevate our privileges, and here again Livda. And we can say that this we copy as well to give context. Livda. So we find the exploit, but one thing I am looking for is I have forgotten how to compile these exploits. Let's look at it like this again. Windows kernel exploits. How do I compile that again? Compile this. Oh, here. Amazing. Great. Okay, so let's download that exploit. Downloads, and we can go into workspace, proving grounds, boxes, authb, Privesc, like that, and then we can open a second pane. We can go into Privesc. We have the exploit here, and this is the command to compile it. This one. Okay, so let's write that down. We have found a kernel exploit that we can compile using the following command, like this. Obviously this is going to be a bit different. Like that. Let's do that. Let's transfer the exploit over and exploit. So transferring files, certutil. Let's go to user. We're gonna go to public, make dir temp, go inside of temp, and then do certutil. We're gonna take our IP, port 8000, and the name of the exploit. Like this and like that. And then here, of course, we're gonna run a server. Like so. And then we're gonna exploit it. Dir and that worked. We have got root. So let's take a screenshot of all of this. And as expected, the kernel exploit worked flawlessly. Yeah, when it comes to these old builds, the exploits have been around for so long, they work. So like that. we have root. No, sorry, let's call it how it is. NT authority system. Let's go to C, users administrator desktop, and here as well we have proof.txt. Nice. Loads here. Nice. So that was a good box. It was not too hard. I think I'm getting better. I mean, I'm still kicking myself for the OSCP. I, by the way, know now what I did wrong. My head was fuming. I was there for too long. I didn't take enough breaks, and I forgot something very, very crucial in the Active Directory set. And yeah, I'm kicking myself. But anyway, it is what it is. This box was rather intermediate, if not even easy, definitely not hard. But yeah, this has been Authbee. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let's give a quick recap. We found an FTP server for which we could do anonymous login, but we could also brute force the users, which we found. We found a list of users inside of the anonymous share. That was offsec, admin, and just anonymous. So we brute forced, and we found that admin was using default credentialed admin. So we were also able to pillage and download everything from the FTP share of the admin. In there we found not only a web server configuration and authentication mechanisms, but we found a hash for the user offsec. We cracked that hash using Hashcat, and we found that we couldn't log into FTP with that password and username, but the web server. Then, using our admin credentials in FTP, we were able to upload files to the FTP and directly browse to them on the web server. And we were then able to upload PHP code, respectively. No, a PHP code or a PHP reverse shell. Sorry about that. We then gained initial foothold and enumerated a bit, and it occurred to us that the server was rather old. It didn't have... Wait. We spawned a CMD shell. Did it have PowerShell? No, it didn't have PowerShell. Of course, because in 2008, PowerShell didn't exist, I don't think. But anyway, we enumerated the box a bit, and we saw that not only was SE impersonate privilege enabled, but we also then saw that the build was extremely old. And for that build, there is... Oh. Let me just quickly fix that. First of all here, and then not for user 1, but for Livda. Oh, okay. I just found something else. I have to correct that. Yeah, so we were able to find that the build was extremely old and then go to exploit this using a kernel that was just available online. We compiled it and transferred it to the box and exploited it and got root. So this was rather easy. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, press the notification bell, share the video if you like it. And this has been Bytesize Security. As usual, I was your host, Jimmy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.